Hello. Hi. I'm sorry. Mark, don't hide. He's scared. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, my apologies. It's very rare that I'm late. I'm always like 3 minutes late on purpose so that you guys can all get on and then we get started. My dog does have epilepsy and usually has like 2 seizures a day. So sometimes that does happen. It's nice to see all of you guys. 22 are on. 2 are not going to be here. Hopefully everybody, was it pretty easy to understand what was happening today, where to be and when and why and all that good stuff? Not
Yeah.
too. Okay. And yes, I do have a fat lip if that's what you're looking at. I busted my lip. I'm a mess. Has anybody ever walked into their garage door? No? Yeah, it's not fun. Ay. Okay, you are Hartnell, correct? My babies, 226? Yes? That's you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a folder. I'm very organized. Okay, so first and foremost, Mark, thank you so much. He was supposed to be teaching, was he?
Nah, I wasn't. I didn't really understand what you meant.
I know, I'm totally messing with you. You're just an easy target because the smile and, got to pick on someone, right? So you are the chosen one for the semester probably at this point. So what does voiding mean? If somebody says I need to void, what does that mean? I just have to, because that was a question.
To urinate.
Yes. Who said that?
Christian.
Yes. Oh, hi, Christian.
Hello.
You were here last week. Hi. Or not your fault, my fault, but hi. It's good to have you here. Let me just take a look around the room. Oh, I see the big smiler. Esmeralda's here. Awesome. Where are you, Christian? Are you hiding from me? There he is. Is that you? There. All right. Perfect. Good to see everyone. Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole, this is who I am, that whole thing all over again. I am recording this because those who are not here, I want them to have the opportunity to get to go over what we're going to be doing today. So basically how to date, well, first and foremost, does anyone have any questions? So I always do housekeeping first. Any questions, concerns, and then I'm going to tell you about our individuals. There's not really much to be concerned about yet at this point, right? Okay, good. But if you have questions, please let me know. So it's 1:15. My plan is to go till about 1:50, and then you have an after class assignment that's due. I give you till 5. Like I said, I just give you that little extra room just in case. And then it's pretty much because the class is an hour and a half, just as a reminder. And what I want to do today, since so I've arranged all so I'm doing first and third semester, as you know. I've arranged all the first semester meetings and probably like 7 people from your class. And then as of tomorrow, everyone should be scheduled. So if you can imagine trying to schedule like 47 people in like a 2-week period, and now I finally have all my students, it's quite the, I need an assistant. Anyone need a job? Like it's quite, I don't like tedious things, and it's quite tedious. But then talking to you will be my reward, I guess. So please don't think that I don't care or I'm not getting it together. I have a whole list. It's working. That is kind of the bread and butter of the class. So that's where I'm going to really be able to know, as well as your homework from last week, what you're looking for. And then I can build the class more for you guys. And then I have my own stuff. Plus Nancy has her input. So that's how the class is going to be created. That doesn't mean the class isn't already happening and I don't know what we're doing today, and there's a rhyme and reason to it. And I'm going to explain that right now. So what we're doing today is, I know your first semester, so it might seem like, oh my God, these questions, I don't even know what this procedure is, or I don't know what that is, or it doesn't matter. So today is about test taking strategies, and I have 5 NCLEX questions. So I think I had mentioned last week, I work for Kaplan. who helps design all of the test taking strategies on how to pass your NCLEX. And there really is no right time, right? Why not start now? I did that with your fellow classmates. I do that with every school I teach at. And it is extremely beneficial. I used to not do it for the first semesters, but it really, I think, benefited them. And they thanked me in the end and said, thank you so much, because we were consistent and did it the whole time. So you don't need me. After we're done with this, if I'm not teaching your class, you can still do, I'm not saying do hundreds a day. I'm talking like 5 twice a week. It's just to continue to build the skill. And I'm going to say, even though I hate when people say it, but does that make sense? You're just building those skills. And if I'm teaching you special test taking strategies, even though half of you, most of you, because you're brand new, aren't going to know any of what the questions are asking, that's not the point of why we're doing it. We're doing it so I can say, okay, this is what you're looking at. And this is what do you think that's going to help you on? The test you take right now in school, right? Is that not, I mean, that's important. Do we all agree on that? You don't have to say, you can just shake your head. You don't have to unmute if you don't need to, but so that's
you're gonna tell us what we're focusing on for our next exam. Is that what you're telling me right now? Because that would be great.
Okay, so they don't give me that much power there. This is the only class I don't have a lot of power, or school I don't have power. I have like a lot of power at Mission and San Jose State. Hartnell, I'm not there as much, but I will teach you strategies.
Okay.
And it's too bad you're not in like one of my just as a side note, and I say I usually do like 5 of these every class because I will never shut up. I'm hoping to actually teach an actual theory class at Hartnell, and be more involved. And I know Deborah, and I'm recording this, but I don't think that this is not okay to say, but Deborah is very interested in me being more of a part of Kaplan, or that's not who you are. Who are you guys? Hartnell.
Hartnell.
Sorry, more of a part of Hartnell. She really likes me. I don't know. It just seems to be a very good fit. I think because we met last week. We don't have to redo the whole thing. And I've talked to at least a couple of the people who weren't here, so I think they have an idea of who I am as far as an instructor. And, you know, I take this very serious, but at the same time, I also believe in maybe some different philosophies of teaching. This is not that type of class per se. However, it's not like a theory class. Like if I was teaching you med surg, I would teach it very differently than somebody else. I just have my own methods. So that was a really long roundabout way of saying, no, I'm sorry, because they don't give me access. Unless it's ATI. So if that's something that you're interested, for example, let's say you're going to have an ATI exam. I can't open it up and actually see what you're going to take necessarily. Not that I would cheat anyway, but I could help hone in on some of those things. So that could be something that you could write down that that's what you're interested in. So that could be something.
I think the reading is what's kind of hard for us since we don't have study guides, like from the Cooper and Cooper Gosnell and then the Giddens. Yeah, so we don't really have like a study guide to base, you know, what the basis of the information is that we're going to be tested on. Then we kind of are like, okay, well, we feel like we have to know everything in the book, when in reality, it's probably not everything.
You just said that because you literally nailed it. That's exactly what I say. Who said that?
Shayna,
yes, Beanie, right?
Yes.
You gave me a compliment last week. That was good. So Shayna, that's exactly really quick. Something that is really, in my personal opinion, is very important. That doesn't mean any other instructor is doing anything wrong, but you're not leaving, for example, when you go to your pharmacology class or your mental health class, you're not leaving a psychiatrist or a pharmacist, right? So what is important? What do you really need to know? And in my opinion, that's pretty much how I do my things, is I hone in. Again, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I just think it's really important to, because what I mean, are you supposed to memorize like 100 pages and then be able to apply it and your brain?
Exactly.
Like the nursing way, the strategy. I mean, the nursing tests alone are hard enough, right? They're totally different than regular tests. So I feel you. And yeah, that's what I can say about that. Because we are being recorded. And I want to post this, but I do understand that. So okay, let's talk about that. This is what this class is about. That frustration is so normal, especially in the beginning. And then all of a sudden it does start to make sense. I will say that. And then you become this thing, what I call a professional student, where you kind of just get it. And you're like, I feel like I know what is important. I will say that. So I hope that helps, even though it may not help in the moment. Just know that I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. And I literally just said that yesterday to somebody else because it's true. And coming from someone, I've been in school for, I think this is my 13th year because I'm almost done with my doctorate. So, I mean, you just know. I can look at the, what's that thing called that tells you what to do? The syllabus. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't even, you become a professional student. So keep that in mind. And you really do embrace. It's a really cool, you're gonna look back and be like, dude, that one girl with the big hair was right. She was right. And it'll happen. I think so anyhow. You guys wouldn't be in this program if you were not capable of being in this program. Let's put it that way. So keep that in mind as well. You wouldn't have made it in if you didn't qualify. And you know qualifying is not easy, correct? So keep that in mind too. Sorry, I have all these analogies, but I live by them, and so far so good. I'm still in a good mood, and
I have a question.
Is that Alexis?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I feel like, well, for me personally, I feel like I spend a lot of time on ATI, which then I'm going back to the book and I'm just like doing like multiple things. Like, what do you think I should like take more notes on? Because I feel like sometimes I'm taking a lot of time in ATI and taking notes there, and then I have to
match. And then you get a test question. It's like, what the, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know.
My true suggestion, if this were, and again, I don't mean to say, oh, I'm so disconnected from Hartnell, but I am a little bit, unfortunately, more disconnected, even though I don't want to be. It's just because of COVID right now. I'm only teaching from home, but I honestly would ask your instructor. I could give you that answer if it was VN Mission, easy. VN RN, I couldn't answer it. And then San Jose State, they're more light on ATI. Your school in general is a very heavy ATI implemented school. Mm-hmm. Whether I agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. I still think the school is fantastic, but I don't agree with it. But I would ask, because you're right, you're studying this, you're studying that, then you get confused. You're almost kind of feel like you're wasting time because your brain can only absorb so much. And where should you spend your time?
I just feel like I'm spending a lot of time on the book and then a lot of time on ATI, which I feel like doesn't really help. But then I don't have time to go back because there's something else that I have to do.
Of course.
Like time to go back and study what I just
maybe learned. Like void or take a shower or eat, whatever we're supposed to do to stay alive. My recommendation, and I think that you're not the only one feeling this way. So this is a part of this class too, by the way. It's not just, okay, we get on here and like review stuff or whatever. It's to help each other, and I like how I say it, or whatever. But really, we're on here together. I'm just kind of going through the comments. Only been through yeah, it is. So I would suggest going and actually doing some office hours. And I can already feel it. They're gonna say, go back to your success class, and I'm gonna laugh because I don't know. I'm a clinical instructor at Hartnell. I've never taught a theory class at Hartnell. So I don't know. I know they're heavy on ATI because I came that one day and I was like, what the? Like, it was like 5 hours of.
Yep, 6 hours, 7 hours of ATI.
Keep reminding me thank you, Christian. Keep reminding me I'm being recorded. I'm like, keep seeing this thing. I'm like, be careful.
Yeah, it's because Miss Sherbeamer will say like, oh, take notes on your ATI. And then I'm there in ATI module for like almost 3 hours. And that was just like a waste of time for me, I feel.
I agree. I do actually agree. And what I would even get deeper into that, and So this is my suggestion for that. And this is what I say to my patients who are going into doctor's appointments for any reason, if they're able to. It's kind of like when you go into your boss's office, you know how your head goes like completely blank and you're like, oh my God, what was I going to say? And then you look like whatever you want to look like. I feel stupid. I'm like, why am I here? And I just blank out. I like to take notes. So I'll do little bullet points. That way I can keep myself on track. And I usually do that. Like today, I didn't do it for you guys because I don't need to keep on track because we're going to answer a couple test questions, which are actually NCLEX questions, which are advanced questions. And like I said, we'll be done. I have a class at 2, but I can always push them back because I own them until 7 p.m. technically. So I can do what I want. I just made it at 2. So I can always push it back a little bit if needed. But my suggestion would be if you could actually sit down and say, because I hate those big questions, like, you know, those broad questions. It's like, oh, we'll go on ATI and take notes. What does that mean? What does that mean? I want to know more. So like taking notes, being prepared so that when you're sitting in front of Nancy, your mind doesn't go blank and you freak out and you're brand new to the school and you want a good reputation and you don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong, right? Am I on the right path? Like, yeah. I remember this time in my life. Now I'm a little bit older and I'm just like, I'll just talk to my teachers respectfully, but blunt, like, okay, so that didn't make sense. Can you repeat it in a different way, please? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if you said that right now, it'd probably come out all twisted and it would sound not the way you'd want it to. And then you'd probably have a panic attack and it would be this whole thing. So it's about preparing yourself and really asking her, can you please help me? I want to be successful. And I don't understand when you're saying, you know, go and take notes in ATI. I see myself in ATI for this many hours, like honestly. And if you say that one thing, potentially then she could go back to class and tell the whole class. And if you're okay with it, and I will not mention your name, I promise, we'll not be recording you. I don't even know why we're recording. I don't feel like we really need to record this class. Do you guys? No? Yes?
No.
I don't.
I would like it to be recorded.
Okay.
If I'm not here, I would definitely like to be able to look back.
Exactly. Okay, we'll put it in we're gonna like hide it somewhere. I'm not gonna put it where I normally do. I'm gonna like hide it inside of Canvas somewhere. Not hide it, but I'm not because I'm gonna sit here and talk crap, but more so because I'm gonna. One of my biggest faults and one of my biggest, I guess, good things is that I am a huge, huge, huge student advocate. And I think a lot of instructors that have been instructors for a very long time and are a little bit of age, which there's nothing wrong with being of age, have a very specific, there's none of this. It's like, and it's, the mindset's very different. And I would like to see that change. I'm working really hard at Mission to do that. Hartnell, you guys, I don't know if you realize, you know how good of a school Hartnell is, right? Like, you guys have a really good reputation. Do you realize that? Like, as far as colleges go, do you know that?
No, can you tell us what type of reputation we have?
We have a very good reputation. I actually, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I actually recommend your RN program over ours. Like, and when I say ours, I'm tenure at Mission. So that's like retirement stuff. I don't even know what that, honestly, I don't know what it even means. All I know is tenure means they come and watch me teach time, and I'm paid on salary. So, but I recommend, I mean, you guys have a really high pass rate for your NCLEX. That's excellent. You're just the students in general, this is a student side, are just, I just love the students. Like, I don't know where you guys come from, but you're just amazing. You're so respectful. You're so nice. You're just so like, you want to learn, like, you're not entitled. It's just, it's like the best place. So there's that part, the student part, except this one student, we won't go there. Only student I've actually had a little not altercation, like punching, but like, it got close. Just kidding. Maybe. But other than that, you guys have a really good high pass success rate. They work really hard. Deborah works so hard to make sure like you guys are using all the right evidence-based practice, all of that stuff. And I don't know if you've ever sat down with Deborah in a way of I don't know. I don't know her as like serious Deborah. I know her as like really, really sweet, nice Deborah. So I'm only speaking, I mean, we all have two sides, right? We're humans, right? I can get like I'm Gemini, so I'm either this way or you don't want to be around me. I'm scary. So which has never happened with a student, just by the way. So don't even remember what I was. Oh yeah, you do have a very good reputation. So as far as schools are going, you guys are in a really good program. And if you weren't, I wouldn't be teaching here. I refuse to teach at any school that I don't feel is doing what they feel is best for the students. So that is good. You're ending, basically you're going into, you're going into week 3 or ending, or going into week 4? Is it already week 4 or 3? 3, right? Oh, come on, you guys, help me.
I think it's 4.
Week 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So usually, I thought that was chapstick. I was like, oh my God, I want some of that so bad. It's not, it's Expo. Don't put that on your mouth. Or the cleaning wipes. You know the cleaning wipes that you guys use on the tables? Don't put that on your mouth. It's not for skin. Found that out the hard way. Yeah. You know your lips get dry underneath the mask? And like, yeah, wiped it, and that was not a good experience. This was a while ago. This is a busted lip. I have a stitch in my lip. But big picture is usually as week 3 ends, usually that's kind of, and I hope you guys are starting to kind of feel, I don't want to say settled, like, oh my God, I'm chilling now. Like, you know, school, and I'm only looking over to make no emergency on my phone. But kind of that piece of, okay, I kind of think I know what's going on and where I'm supposed to be when. At least I'm starting to kind of feel it. And then it just kind of, oh, okay. I wish I could show you the stack. I have a stack this big right now of getting kids into clinical within the next 3 weeks that I'm supposed to turn in tomorrow. That's the only thing that, and you guys, once that's done, smooth sailing, hopefully. Okay, so let's read from the comments, and then let's go over the study questions that are really, really important. No matter what we do, we are gonna spend time, and I'd like you to take notes, because there's gonna be things I say today, 2 things that could help you literally pass your NCLEX. I am not kidding. I am proof of that. And then there might be 5 things. I plan on doing NCLEX questions probably almost every time, at least 2. Today we'll at least get through 2. We may not get through 5, but we'll get through 2. And I promise you, ask your 3rd semester success class friends if you know any of them. Do you guys know any of them? Rosa, Guadalupe? Okay. Or Lupita? No?
I know Lupita.
Okay, ask her. She knows me. Like, she knows. It helps. And I was her clinical instructor. She's badass. Oh, sorry. See, this is why I don't record. Okay. So Monday, which is quite some time from now, but we start clinicals tomorrow, so I don't want to spend all week. Oh, you're talking about someone else. Okay. So you guys haven't gone to clinical yet? Tomorrow's your first day?
Yes.
Are you scared to death?
I'm more excited.
Yay! Okay. You guys are going to be awesome. It's going to be so much.
Where are you going on clinical?
Are you, what?
Where is everyone going on clinical?
Windsor, Skyline.
Oh.
Windsor's pretty good, right, Christian? That's what I heard. That real.
Yeah, depending on your instructor that day. I'm just gonna be honest.
No, of course. Absolutely. You're going to, no matter what, it's your instructor, it's going to be a different experience, which I think is good and certain ways, and we'll talk. And that's another thing we can do. We can come back together, and we don't gossip. We can vent, but we we vent, we don't gossip. And we can talk about certain things, or if you're having any sort of, I had a student come to me in full tears, day 1 of clinical VN. Oh my God, my heart. I just wanted to hold her, but you can't because of COVID, and really you're not supposed to, but I would have anyway. I don't care. She was just in full tears. This nurse was being so mean to her. Completely, and I believe her. I do. I completely believe her. I asked all the right questions. I said, is she this? Is she this? Is she this? This is a very young, pretty young woman from the school who was there, and I even asked the instructor of the, she came to me. I'm not her clinical instructor, but she wanted advice. And I asked the instructor, I said, let me guess, this instructor is been there this long. She's been fired before. They probably have her in an area where a lot of patients aren't interacting with her. And she's insecure. What do you think he said? Yes, 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 and yes. And that doesn't mean every time that happens, but you're going to have good experiences and bad, but honestly, they all together, that's what makes, if it was all easy, I think it wouldn't be what it is, and it'll make more sense, but we will talk about that as well, because I think that's really important. I love clinical. It's so fun. I can't just wait till Natividad. It's the best, in my opinion. Wait till you meet Chris. He's the best. And then you can tell him I said hi. Okay. So are you guys ready to start? Because we're like, boom. So excited for you guys tomorrow. It's going to be good. Just remember, personality can't be taught, right? Smile. I know you're wearing the mask, but you can see the smile in your eyes. Personality can't be taught. You're all very, from my experience, very, very respectful, but hold your head up high, bring your badge, do all that stuff you're supposed to be doing, lay out your clothes the night before. I know they say that, but seriously, do it. Yeah, please. Especially those of you who have to get up before anyone should ever wake up. Okay. So let me just move this down. I want to open up your screen, and we're just going to learn a couple strategies. And we're not ending our meeting, so we're going to move this over here. I should merge you with my mission class that I'm doing next. That would be so fun. There's one really, nope, never mind. I know what you're thinking. He's so cute. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry. This is why we don't record videos. Let's see here. You guys are at Hartnell. Perfect. Okay. 226. Oh, I remember what I did for you guys. I actually made a Word document. See, I'm so organized. Sometimes. Don't look at my, oh, you can't see it good. Word document. Come on, questions. Where are you? Whatever. We're just gonna open the other document because I have that there too. So we'll steal it from the other kids. Zoom. Share screen. You guys are these guys. Okay, can you guys see the other screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, so we'll just open 227 because they have the same questions, but it's homework because they didn't have school yesterday, so. Okay, let's see here. NCLEX practice. Okay, so a couple things, and I want you to write this down, please, about the NCLEX. Don't look at the questions. I probably shouldn't have brought them up, but this is your first task to restrain looking from the questions. So something I want you to write down is this. The NCLEX can only ask so many types of questions, right? So if you were to study when you begin your studying of taking your NCLEX exam, they can only ask, I'm just making this up, 6 questions on glaucoma, let's just say. So the more you do a study questions and know the rationale for why you got it right or why you got it wrong, that is only going to give you the best advantage. Meaning the more questions you do, the more you're going to know, because they can only come up with so many questions about heart failure and glaucoma and, oh, hi, honey. You're right below me, so I see your baby or big person. Hi. So that's something that's very important to remember. The second thing is, and we'll go through this as we go, and you know what, if you learn a little bit through, stuff that you're not supposed to learn yet, why not? You're only going to be ahead of the game. So when you're answering a question, you always want to know, what is the question asking me? What is it actually asking? Because we get all entangled in the question And then we forget, like, what are they even asking? And then unfortunately we can get that question wrong. And it's better to get it wrong when you're practicing. And I'm also applying this to your school work that you're doing in ATI and all of that. And so what is the question asking? So first and foremost, if the question's giving me an age, I might want to pay attention to that. So if someone said, oh, I had a 2-year-old patient, and then they give the rest of the question, or I have a 35-year-old patient, I might want to, keep things in mind. A 75-year-old patient, because that might have something to do with the way I answer the question, correct? Another really, really important thing, and this is the last one I'm going to give for right now, and then we'll get into it, is time. This is extremely important when you answer a question. Is it immediately after the procedure? Is it 1 hour, which is pretty much immediately? It's pretty close. Is it 12 hours? Is it a week? Couldn't that change the entire question? Absolutely. And we're going to experience that right now. Okay, the last thing I'm going to say, and this is probably the most important, I think this is truly why I'm personally a good test taker, is because of many reasons, because I've been in school forever. But most of the time, if you get a question that says, what's best, or what would you do first, or it's like a priority question, most of the time, you're going to do everything, right? But which one are you going to do first? Those questions, those are my favorite questions, right? Why are those my favorite questions? They're my favorite questions because I know I'm going to do them all. And ABC is not always first. So it's not always airway, breathing, circulation, right? And people are like, what? Yes, it is. No, it's not. If I say I have a patient who has edema, do we know what edema is? Swelling of, let's just say, the lower extremities. What would I do for this patient to help alleviate the pain in her legs? Would I give her scheduled diuretics? Would I put an airway in? Or would I give her dinner? I'm just making that up. I'm making this up on the spot. Would airway be the answer? No. Anything about her having trouble breathing? Not even a bit. Has nothing to do with the question, right? So really knowing and paying attention to the question, not always going to be ABC. And now they have this new thing at CAD. It could be breathing over airway. It could be airway over circulation. It could be circulation over airway. It depends on the question. So always remember that, because didn't that answer, it was about circulation. And that was giving the diuretic, basically. But it's not always ABC, because A would have been before C, right? Airway. Did it say anything about her having trouble breathing? No. So just, again, we will go over this so many times throughout the entire semester that you're going to feel that much stronger in going forward. Okay, so let's answer the first question. And we're going to break it down. So first and foremost, the liver. The liver is an organ. We all know that. We all have one. You have to have one to live. It's very important. Has over 500 functions. And it is in your right upper hand quadrant. So it's on your right side. And you can actually feel pain in your liver. The liver is my second favorite organ because I am an addiction nurse. So I love the liver. So let's take a look and break it down what I just said. The nurse cares for the nurse, I should say patient, sorry. The nurse cares for a patient 2 hours after a percutaneous liver biopsy. So first and foremost, what am I going to look at?
Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours. That's pretty soon after a procedure, wouldn't you agree? That's not immediate, like 5 minutes, but that's not very much time. That's a close time. Okay, that I find that it may be important, it may not. It probably is though. And if you don't know what a percutaneous liver biopsy, does anyone know what that is? If you don't, I don't expect you to. This is more about strategy right now, not about knowing the procedure. But does anyone know what it is?
What was the name of it?
A percutaneous liver biopsy.
I mean, I can try to dissect the word and think of it. So I know it's something being removed.
Yeah, exactly. So you see what I'm, no, and I know it's funny, but like, you're able to like, that's the whole point of this, is being able to, if you don't know, because on your NCLEX, let me tell you right now, or any test, sometimes you're like, I don't fucking, what are you asking me? We can get to the bottom of it. So yes, something is being removed. So percutaneous is basically you're going through the skin. So they're going to do a liver biopsy. A biopsy is removing something. So if I had a lump on my arm and they wanted to do a biopsy, usually they'll take a piece of the skin. Sometimes they'll take a liver or a biopsy with a large needle with a large lumen, and the lumen, I don't know how much where you guys are, so if I repeat things, sorry. I don't think you probably have gotten here yet, but the lumen is the size of the hole in the needle, or the needle. So percutaneous liver biopsy is somebody basically having it's guided with an ultrasound, and they get a large needle put into their liver. It's numbed, of course, and it's a procedure, it's not surgery, and then liver cells are removed. And why do we remove those liver cells? Because we want to see potentially, are they mutating? Are they cancerous? Usually it's because we want to see if they might have cancer. So they will remove it from several different areas. Why do they remove it from several different areas? Because if my liver's here and I only take cells from here, could I have cancer over here?
Yep.
Exactly. So we get these cells, we do our tests. Okay. All right. So we got this patient 2 hours after this test has been performed. Okay. Write this down. Your liver is very vascular. And I speak in nursing terms most of the time. What does vascular mean?
Blood vessels.
Yes and yes. Blood, right? Vascular. It has the, basically, it can bleed a lot when it is messed with, if you will, in simple terms. So it's very vascular. So it is, it has the, I almost said audacity, like it's its fault. It has the ability to bleed. So I'm going to keep note of that. Okay, the liver. Okay. All right. So automatically I'm already thinking, okay, 2 hours. Okay, we'll see. So which finding requires an immediate intervention by the nurse? So basically it's asking me, what is the most important thing that I need to do right now to help this patient? Is that what it's asking me? Yes. So, and this is how I ask the questions because it keeps me on track. So number 1, the client is positioned slightly on the right side with the pillow under the head. Would this require an immediate intervention by the nurse? We're going to say nothing because we're going to say we don't know. We're going to go through all of them. But you see how I ended the end with that, so I stay on track. Number 2, the client reports aching, throbbing pain that goes up to my right shoulder area. Does this require an immediate intervention by the nurse? And keep in mind, some of these may require intervention, but they aren't immediate, like the next one. Number 3, the client states, I do not want to take the stool softener ordered for tonight. Would this require an immediate intervention by the nurse? Probably not immediate, right? But it would probably require some intervention, maybe finding out why, like, why don't you want to, because they had a liver biopsy, so they're probably not moving a lot. They're probably on opiate pain medication. I'm guessing. This is not in the question, right? But I know that this is something that I'm probably going to want to at least check in on just to make sure they're doing okay or if they have any questions. But it's probably not immediate comparatively to the other questions once we get through all of them. Do you see the difference? Immediate versus not. And then we have to distinguish that. Number 4, the client states, my stomach feels tight and reports increased abdominal pain. Does this require an immediate intervention by the nurse?
Yes.
No, you guys are too smart. Yes, and that is actually clear. And now we're going to go why. So that is actually, Kaplan did a study. If you know the rationale, and if you guys don't know what Kaplan is, sorry, but it's like this NCLEX whole thing that teaches you how to know how to answer questions for the NCLEX. It was the hardest job to learn in my, yeah, I'm glad I have the information now, but it was grueling. So let's say let's compare. Then sometimes I'll compare, and I'll say, okay, 2 hour, and I always go back over the question. 2 hours, okay, that's pretty soon. The liver, okay. And mind you, you don't have to know everything. If I didn't know the liver was vascular, that doesn't mean I'm going to get it wrong, right? No. If I didn't know the liver was vascular, that's fine. It doesn't mean anything. If I didn't even pay attention to the 2 hour, I would still get it right. But it's still nice to, because sometimes it will actually help you get it right. So let's compare number 3 to number 4. Which one do you think is more important and why? I want someone to explain to me. And anyone can talk. Whoever starts talking first.
This fourth one is important.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about? Oh, it's because he's saying that his stomach, the client stating that the stomach feels tight and there's increased abdominal pain. So because it's vascular, it could mean that the patient is bleeding internally, and that's why he's feeling pain.
That was very impressive. Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. And and a little zinger, it says increased abdominal pain. And if something is feeling tight, and we know it's in the abdominal cavity, it's filling with something, right? Something.
Yes.
So that's not good. So we know number 4 is more important than number 3, right? We can eliminate number 3. Boom. Bye. You're gone. And that's the whole point. We want to get rid of things, because the more we get rid of course, we're going to come down to 2, and we will, because I'm sure a lot of you are probably picking number 2. And I'll tell you why it's not right. They're trying to trick you, because they're mean people. So now we're going between number 4, and number 4 is right. So number 4 and 2. Number 2, the client reports aching, throbbing pain that goes up to my shoulder area. So even if that was a complication, which one do you think would be more important? Potential tightness, even if you didn't know it was bleeding, and it says reported increased abdominal pain, and we know the liver's in the abdomen. We may not know where, but we know it's somewhere in there, right? Even if you didn't know where it was. Wouldn't you think number 4 is more important than number 2? Your shoulder, like, there's no like important like organ in there, right? So number 2, and the reason number 2 isn't right is that has to do with gallbladder surgery, as well as sometimes when they put the CO2 in to do laparoscopic procedures. Do you guys know what that is? Where they put all that CO2 and it kind of like will fluff up the stomach a little bit to get the scopes in so that they can see to do a biopsy. The gas will travel to the shoulders and you'll get shoulder pain. So that's the rationale. You don't have to know that to get it right. And then the last one, the client is positioned slightly on the right side with a pillow under their head. Some people get confused and they're like, well, why would you put them on the right side? Isn't that going to hurt? Isn't that where the liver is? It actually helps. What did I say about it's vascular, right? So it actually helps put pressure, so it will help with bleeding. So did that kind of, and again, this is this much. There's like so much, but I'm all about making connections, and it comes together so beautifully. Pretty cool, right? Or is it just me? Okay. We're only going to do one more because I respect your time, and I told you I'm not going to keep you past 2. And then you have just a small assignment so that we have our hour and a half. I want to pick specifically, and we're going to do the other ones next time. Not the whole session, but we're going to at least do one. At least one a class. And please let me know, like, if you hated this and you're like, this is like, no, like, communicate with me, please. Okay. Oh, okay, this is a good one. This is beautiful. Okay, ready? So we're on this one. I didn't remember them. I don't know why. So the nurse visits a client in the home 2 weeks after a total laryngectomy. I'm horrible saying words, by the way. Laryngectomy procedure. What is a laryngectomy procedure? It's a removal of what? Your
Larynx.
Good job. You guys are good. Exactly. And it was 2 weeks. Is that immediate? No. It's not immediate. It's not like a long time, but it's not immediate. It's not hours. And also, in the NCLEX world, it's perfect. You have all the nurses you need. You can do home visits. it's like a perfect little world where you're not short staffed. There's enough towels. It's not like real world where we don't have anything. Okay. There's no chucks. You're like ripping up things to make things work. No. NCLEX world is perfect world. So, okay. We have this patient, 2 weeks. They had their larynx removed. Which statement by the client concerns the nurse? Pick this for a reason. This is it asking for something right or wrong? It's asking for something
Something
wrong.
that concerns the nurse, so it's something that's wrong.
Exactly. And that is so important. And you'll see how I'm going to answer, how I'm going to say, I know. Are you laughing because I'm excited or because your baby's behind you?
No, my daughter.
Okay. This is silly. Okay. No, Joy, sorry. I like seeing smiles. Okay. So exactly. And you'll hear me say, so we have to figure out, are they asking for something right or for something wrong? So, okay. So they're asking.
Oh, can you get that?
So we're asking for something wrong for this procedure. So here we go. Number 1, I cover my stoma when I am putting on my makeup in the morning. Would this be something that would concern a nurse after a patient had a laryngectomy 2 weeks ago?
Maybe.
What's a stoma?
An opening.
Good job. Yeah, it's an opening. So it's here. So I'm covering this. And guys, you're going to learn something. So makeup can be fluffy and like move and powdery. And do we want that going on inside of our hole here in our throat? No. So that I cover my stoma. That's good, right? We want that patient to cover the stoma. So that makes me happy. So that does not concern me at all. I'm not concerned about that. Any questions why I'm not concerned?
No.
Okay, good. We want that covered. Number 2, I clean the area around the stoma with alcohol twice a week. Is this something that would concern me for a patient that had a laryngectomy 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
No.
I love it. Ooh, I love it when it's the bow. So I'm going to say, I don't know. So look, we're going to keep it. And I was going to keep it anyway because it's a trick question or a quick trick answer. So we're going to keep it. And I love that there's opposing questions or answers. So number 3, we have started to use a bedside humidifier in the bedroom. Would this be a statement that would concern the nurse?
I'd say yes for this one.
And why would, and if you're comfortable, and remember, this is a safe place, okay? We talk and this is how we learn. And you guys even like partly understanding this as early on as you are, like I'm floored. So again, Hartnell, way to go. Or maybe you guys are just smart. I don't know. And
so
go ahead.
Sorry, were you asking why the humidifier was concerning?
Yes.
Okay. I think that the humidifier is concerning is because you're wanting the opening to heal, and like having it humid or having obviously, well, it being humid is not going to allow it to heal properly. It has to dry and scab, right?
And see, that is I've been doing this for a really long time and no one's ever answered it like that. Now somebody else, I have an answer, but does somebody else want to nicely counterplay, not you should have, but speak in I terms of why this is, because it actually is not concerning. It is something that we want to do, but why?
Sometimes the openings require moisture to close instead of dryness.
And because it's a mucous membrane, that's why. And that is, so both of you just taught us something very, do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm positive just in general, but getting it wrong actually helped the whole class right now. So like, that's why I don't want anyone to ever be afraid to be wrong or feel like, oh, I'm wrong. Oh my God, now whatever. No, that's good because you just taught us something. So a mucous membrane is like our gums are, you guys know what a mucous membrane is, right? Like, we'll just say gums because it's easiest and it's 202. And my kids they're already, where are you? Give me a minute. Oh my God.
So by that answer being wrong, I can see why alcohol would be concerning if it's drying it out.
Well, yeah, because it's a harsh fluid, I guess you could say, that's just going to dry up the surface of where you're cleaning.
You guys.
So the cells are just dying. So that's why I said yes to the alcohol twice a week.
So
that normal saline, it would have been different. It would have been okay.
So wow, this is fun. You guys, wow. Okay, now I'm just gonna text him and be like, we're not doing this today. I'm just gonna be with you guys. Okay, so we're gonna do. Okay, let's do 4 first, and then we'll compare. So number 4, when I prepare food, I find that it does not always appeal to me. Is this something that would concern the nurse?
No.
I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, over it, but I'm going to keep it. I'm still going to hold on to it because I want to compare what's more concerning. Because I do want her to eat, right? Because, a lot of it has to do with smell. But it's not like it's not an emergent thing where she's bleeding out and now she's going to die, right? Okay. So now let's do our comparison. We already know number 1. We can just cross it off. I wish I know you can do it, but if I could, I would just cross it off. So number 1 does not exist. Do we all understand why? Men or women or men that wear makeup? I don't know. I'm all about whatever. I'm open. But do we get that, guys? Boys? Mark?
Yeah.
Christian?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's another one. Jacob, I believe. There's a couple. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. But your faces aren't showing, so. I wish I could make you show your faces. I hate that I can't do that. It makes me crazy. Because I want to see you. You have to see me. Like, geez, I've been up since 2. Okay. I mean, you don't have to, but okay. So let's do it. So that's done. Now let's compare. So our number 2 and number 3 kind of similar. So number 3 is talking about creating humidity, right? And it doesn't mean like the whole room like becomes wet. If we know anything about a humidifier, it's not like everything's going to be dripping with water. It just keeps it to where it's going to keep things not from getting dry. That's what we're trying to do. It's not get anything dry on where the laryngectomy was performed. Okay. So that is why that does not concern me. That's good. We want that. We don't want this to be dry. And I think we kind of covered that. If there's any questions, let me know, but I think we covered why. But on the flip side, other things we do want to dry. It just depends where it is in the body. But mucous membranes, which is inside of here, that like fleshy stuff, that's a mucous membrane. So number 3, that would be out because that does not concern me. Number 2, I clean the area around the stoma with alcohol twice a week. So there's a couple things there. First and foremost, it should be cleaned more than twice a week, number 1. So even if I didn't know alcohol wasn't what I was supposed to use, because alcohol is very drying, you actually use soap and water. But let's just pretend you didn't even know that. You would still get this right, because don't you think you should probably clean it more than twice a week, maybe?
Yes.
Right? So you could still get it right and not know why. Just you got 1 out of the 2. And now if we compare number 2 and number 3, or sorry, number 2 and number 4, because 1 and 3 are out, which one is the most concerning? Drying this out, potentially causing like a lot of crust around that area. That can cause infection. It's very drying, very irritating. Burns like a, you know what? Like, can you imagine having an open wound and putting alcohol on that? And it's here, ow, right?
Yeah.
Not that, some things hurt, but still, ow. So which is more concerning, that or when I prepare food, I find it does not always appeal to me? Look at how they worded it. Now, if they worded it differently, like I haven't eaten for a week, that would probably, I'm going to be concerned. Then we're screwed. We got a lot of thinking to do. But that's not what it said. It just said it doesn't really always appeal to me, right? It doesn't say anything about I lost 20 pounds in a week or anything like that. So can we all see why number 2 is the right answer?
Yes.
And even if you don't, and you leave this and you're like, okay, this girl's crazy. This isn't going to work. Oh my God, we just wasted an hour. Oh my God, Jesus, help us. We're not doing this every time. This is not what the class is. This is not an NCLEX review. Like I said, we probably will do 1 question every time because why not? Why not start now? I want to help you guys. Like, this will help you. I can, if you're paying attention and taking it and participating and really like in it, it will help you.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So I think you kind of said this without actually saying it. So I'm just going to ask you anyway. So you said on the NCLEX, they can only form so many questions that are having to do with a specific subject. So with that said, by us doing more, then we kind of review all the questions that are going to be on NCLEX, and in a sense, that's our study guide, right? Because they're probably going to ask us the same questions eventually.
Similar. So, okay. And because now, you know, Miss Amanda, or whatever you want to call me, to my face, as long as it's respectful. I have hundreds of questions, hundreds. Normally, I think I said this, I do classes if the school allows me to, for free. That costs a lot of money. And they're hours. And usually the class is 7 hours for 3 days straight, and you pay $500 for it. And it comes with a couple other things. So my portion would only be like, it doesn't even matter because I don't charge it. I do it for free. But with COVID, what I've been doing, which I really shouldn't be doing. If Kaplan knew, I'd probably lose my job. I don't care. I hope not go to jail or something, but I don't think I signed anything. But at the end, this is on you guys though, right? You have to remember, and you have my number. And I can send you some questions, hundreds and hundreds of them, to help you.
That would be awesome.
And then that's right. Thank you. And then that's just, and in my opinion, the NCLEX questions were the closest written and looked the closest to how it was on the actual board exam. That's just my experience. And then I will help you with your study plan if you need it. And that's part of, really more part of the third, but I think that why not do that at the end of this? So like at the end when we're all done, at the end of whenever we're done with this class, like May, I think, we'll probably talk a little bit about that. Why not? So I kept you a little bit over. I apologize, but I think it was worth it. And I was tardy, and I apologize about that too. Dog's fine. I'm fine. I'm going to teach this class, do something else, and then I actually work at the hospital tonight. So let's just hope everyone is good and no one punches me in the eye this week, because now it's like pretty much healed. So any last minute comments or suggestions, or you can text me the suggestions. Good.
So will you still be around for us even after our class is done?
Yes, forever. I have kids, or you're not kids. I have people. Literally, I had a conversation with a student I had 3 years ago. We were on the phone for an hour and 40 minutes because she was having a panic attack about applying for the RN program. And I suggested you guys. I'm always, awesome. I may not be here. Oh my God, I can talk to you right now, but I'm always here. Once you have me, you always have me. I don't go anywhere. So I just changed my phone number the first time because I had stalker. So I had to change my number. So guys are crazy. I knew Mark would laugh when he saw my screen. That's a joke. We all have our issues, but so yeah, my number should not be changing soon. You have my email. You can find me. I'm on Facebook. I don't hide anything. Like, I have nothing to hide. It's all my dogs and food and tattoos, which is freezing today, so are not revealed. So yeah, I'm yours. I belong to you now. Yay. Listen, hopefully that's comforting. You have someone in your corner. So 4770995. Yes, thank you. That is me. Oh my God, these kids are like, where are you? Oh my God, this girl was an hour late last week, and she's texting me, where am I?
Sorry.
No.
Time for you to go to your next class.
Hold on, I know I said I would never go. We're leaving. Oh, signing on now. I'm signing on now. Oh my God, she's gonna get it. Okay, do your little tiny assignment. It will take you like literally 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna grade, don't worry. You guys are freaking awesome. I love you. I love this class. And
we love you too.
Oh, I love you guys. You're the babies. Makes me so happy. You get to like get all, okay, we gotta go or I'll never let you go. Okay, so do your homework. I am in contact with I'm like sexist. I think I scheduled all the boys. Almost, not all, but I think one girl. We'll get there, okay? Because I want to talk to you one-on-one because I want to like get to know you, okay? All right. Behave, be good. I will figure out where to put this, but I will download it and then we'll hide it in our secret place.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
If you need anything that's legal. Bye.